Here we are looking at Sasha's ankles with 1032 rig screws in the toe plates. Different photos. Here I am using a 1-inch cutoff wheel in a Dremel to grind a groove in this pin. The groove is necessary for the next step. Here we are putting in the ankle joint, and here's that pin with the groove in it. The groove is necessary to vent the steam from the flux paste as this gets brazed in there. I either need a groove or drill all the way through and put a vent hole in that plate. Either way, those venting gases have to get out. When brazing, it never really gets white hot. The camera just makes it look that way. The braze it's a silver braze, but it has copper in it, and it looks brassy. It looks gold colored, and I can see that gold all the way up around there. That looks good. Here we are putting the ankle joint in our grizzly mill. I'm milling a flat spot in preparation to spot and drill for a 1/8 hole. The 1/8 hole will receive that 1/8 pin that we just looked at in the previous shot. Magically it got colored and marked. Here I am spotting. If I just try to drill this on that curved angle, then the drill wanders sideways. But if I make the flat spot and then spot it, then when I come in with this 1/8 inch drill, it goes nice and smooth, nice and straight. Slow and steady wins the race. All of this is speeded up for viewing. Here's that hole. Okay, we're putting the ankle joint in the vise. Getting ready to insert the toe joint with that pin. So this will become the ankle assembly. Applying some flux. I always have better results when I use flux. Using some MAP gas, some 3700 degree MAP gas. I just put that solder on there too fast. It globbed up in a ball. The receiving parts were not hot enough to receive the solder yet. Letting that cool down, I noticed that it's a little cockeyed. It's off by a few degrees. It would probably work if left that way, but it'll only take a second to fix it. So we'll heat that back up. Spin it, goof it up, spin it again. There you go. That'll work a little better. Here is one of the bottom plates. I'm grinding a relief in it. The way this ankle is set up, these plates might interfere with one another, and if they do, that's going to affect the way the balls work. So just cutting a little relief on that with my metal fingers on that stone wheel. Here are the parts. All that's been brazed together. Put in the balls, the screws. Just make sure everything fits and works the way it's supposed to. There you go, some ankles. Yay, we're walking. I'm walking here. Here I'm adding the ankle ball to the shin bone. That's a 3/8 ball being placed on a 3/16 rod, putting a little bit of solder in there, 2 little bits. Using 3700 degree MAP gas, need to get the solder up to 1200 degrees using a metal pointer here to hold the ball up. I don't want the weight of the ball to squirt the solder out of that top hole. I want to make sure that solder is melted and pouring down between the ball and the pin. Once I feel that's melted, then I'll gently let the ball settle down on that pin. Once it's all together, then I just heat it up fully. In real life, it doesn't glow white hot. The camera makes it look that way. Letting that cool down, testing it to make sure it's not loose. I can see a little bit of the gold colored solder on top. That looks good. Cool that in some water. I see the solder on top. That looks good. I see the solder on the bottom. That looks good. Looks brutal with the fire scale, but yay, here we are after it came off of the wire brush. I put a ball on the other end. This side looks really good. I'm happy with this side. This other side, it looks kind of convex. It looks like a little bubble. That solder looks like a bubble, which means I didn't get it hot enough to melt and flow down between the ball and the pin. So I think that's good enough, but next time I'll make sure I do that hotter and longer. Okay, here's an ankle joint with the toe plate. That screw will get cut off here before it goes in the mold. Making sure that toe plate moves the way it's supposed to move. Nice and smooth. Here is the ankle ball, shin bone. Tighten that up. Not too tight, not too loose. Make sure that ankle moves the way it's supposed to move. No bumps or rough spots, no tight spots, no loose spots. Nice and round, nice and smooth. Do that for both ankles. Yay, we have a pair. When it goes in the mold, make sure the heads of the screws go towards the center line of the puppet. We don't want those heads showing up on camera. Do a little dance. Ta-ta, ta-ta, yeah, ta-ta, 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 ta-ta. Old soft shoe, a little bit of tap dancing. How can you not help but dance if you have the toes like this?